Main man, back at it. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing. So we have a new welterweight division, 147-pound champion, WBC champion, Danny Swift Garcia, now improving to 32 and 0, 18 knockouts. Ladies and gentlemen, defeating Robert the Ghost Guerrero. Man, and the crazy thing is that he received that title, ladies and gentlemen, amid boos. We will get into this fight, man. This fight means a lot of things for the welterweight division. Of course, we all know the backstory of it, how Danny Garcia, perfectly honestly, shouldn't be getting this shot given he was not the number one contender. He was the number two contender fighting the number seven guy. But whatever the fuck, he got the title. He looked very impressive in doing it. I gave the fight to Danny Garcia roughly about 8-4. I thought, Robert Guerrero came out the gates looking pretty good. First couple rounds I gave to him. Third round I thought Danny started to get his rhythm. Fourth round I gave it to Robert Guerrero, and after that it was pretty much all Danny Garcia. Displaying basically good boxing ability, playing off the back foot, knowing that Robert Guerrero is going to come in with a full head of steam and come in very aggressive. It seems as if Danny Garcia's punching power didn't bother Guerrero for most of the fight, which is something I find quite interesting because we have yet to see Danny's power translate up to the welterweight division as much as we know. We know what he did to Malignaggi, but I mean, come on, we see Guerrero just basically walking through a lot of Danny's shots. But Danny fighting very well off the back foot, outboxing Robert Guerrero for majority of the fight. We've seen a couple kind of a good time. I liked it, the hand speed of Danny Garcia mostly more than anything in this particular fight. His combinations in the later portions of the fight to me showed to be a very, very good thing for the judges to really give this to Danny Garcia. Also, the early body work from Garcia, something that I don't know if a lot of people noticed, was one of the key reasons that the Guerrero slowed down so fast, man. Once Guerrero slowed down, man, it was like, it took all the fight out of him. He had no other strategy other than to try to walk Danny Garcia down. I mean, or maybe he just had in his head that, hey, in order for me to beat Danny Garcia, like I said, he was going to have to go for a knockout, man. Them judges was not going to give that fight to Robert Guerrero, but on the decision, maybe this is something he knew, and he was trying to walk Danny down the entire fight for a knockout. But Danny stayed on the back foot, outboxing Guerrero, looking very impressive. And he did it. This is another name that, regardless of what you may say about Danny Garcia, this is another name to add to the resume of Danny Garcia, which is looking more and more impressive per fight. You got to admit, you throw Robert Guerrero on the batch of the people he's already beat, from Eric Morales to Zab Zuda, to Lucas Matisse, Lamont Peterson, Amir Khan. You add Robert Guerrero to that list. I mean, that's a hell of a resume, regardless of the outcomes. Mauricio Herrera, whatever the fuck, but we all know what happened. But the thing is that stands out, was funny to me about this fight. I remember when they cut the screen to Floyd Mayweather and they asked Floyd Mayweather, yo, who are you giving the edge to in this fight? Floyd Mayweather, at that particular point in time, I think that was like the 8th or ninth round, said that he was giving the fight to Guerrero. I don't know if he meant to say Garcia, was that a slip of the tongue, but he clearly said that he gives the edge to Robert Guerrero at that point in that fight, which I find very interesting. I don't know what that's about. Maybe he didn't feel as though Danny did enough to earn his title. Maybe that is, the case. But Danny did receive the title amidst boos. He was being booed heavily by the crowd in the end portion. But, Danny's had a rough time, man. He's had a rough time. I did a video already about the backstory of this fight, as far as with the title and everything, how he doesn't deserve it. We all know that. But on this particular night, man, let's congratulate Danny Garcia for getting through a tough fight. Robert Guerrero, I don't know where he goes from here, man. He's officially a gatekeeper. I think he should have really considered changing trainers a long time ago, because he fights like his daddy acts. You know what I mean? Very aggressive, non-thinking, just, no other game plan, just to be aggressive. You know what I mean? And since he became that version of Robert Guerrero, the non-boxing Robert Guerrero, he has had a tough time in boxing, especially at the welterweight division. Outside of that big win with Berto, man, he ain't really made no serious noise at this division, man. And, he's now basically ascended to a gatekeeper role. So don't know where Robert Guerrero goes. He's a guy that I guess a lot of young fighters can kind of build their resume up off, and it looks like that's the road he'll be going down. But however, for Danny Garcia, man, it's going to be interesting to see how he progresses. Of course, we all know all the sharks in the water at the welterweight division, from Thurman to Porter to Khan to Brook. I mean, these guys, he's going to have to start mixing it up with these guys. They're going to be coming for the WBC title. You seen Keith Thurman, who was commentating for the fight at ringside, state that, hey, he'd love to get a crack at Danny Garcia. It's going to be interesting to see if Danny Garcia can really deal with a serious full-fledged welterweight with full-fledged welterweight power, because I don't know if he hurts the other guy at this particular point. He was connecting very solidly on a lot of punches with Guerrero. Not as much. He didn't let his hands go nearly as much as I would have expected from Danny Garcia, but once again, not really choosing to engage at all really much with Guerrero until the end of the fight, but still all entertaining all the same, man. You know what I mean? But Danny Garcia is going to have a tough time with these other welterweights. I would love to see how he adjusts to the power level of these other guys, man. Robert Guerrero, man, we all know he got his best claim to fame at the lower weights. So at welterweight, he hasn't been much, and he haven't showed his true power at welterweight other than the Andre Berto fight, which was many, many moons ago at this particular point, man. But I don't know, man. But Danny Garcia, man, is going to have a lot of explaining to do. We know the mandatory situation that he's going to have to possibly defend that title against Amir Khan. That's going to be a great, great fight. I like the hand speed of Danny Garcia. That's going to be a big help if he have to face an Amir Khan. I don't think his hand speed is nearly as fast, but I mean, shit, man, his hand speed looked very impressive in here tonight with Robert Guerrero. I thought that was the main X factor of the fight, was the hand speed of Danny Garcia, as well as his footwork to get him out of a lot of situations, turning the tables in a lot of situations throughout the fight against Guerrero through his footwork. So the body work, the footwork, and the hand speed were the keys to victory for Danny Garcia. But he's definitely going to need the hand speed and footwork to come in play if he has to go in there against an Amir Khan, man. That's going to be his number one asset, if you ask me, because the power has already been shown against Khan at the lower weights. We don't know how that's going to transcend to the welterweight division, man. Khan is a full-fledged welterweight. He's been there longer than Garcia, so it's going to be interesting to see how this play out. But we will dig more into Danny Garcia. Like I said, another name to add to the man's resume. Like it or not, hate it or love it, he's undefeated. He has the WBC 147-pound title. He has another decent name added to his resume. And right now, man, Danny Garcia pretty much has all the right people in his corner. He's looking at a bright, bright future, man. It's going to be interesting to see which way he go. But that's my immediate post-fight review of this particular fight, man. Good fight. I also want to comment real quick on the on the Mansour fight, man. He lost to this guy, man, but I gotta admit, man, Mansour that was a hell of a fight, man. He showed a lot of heart. I had him up on the scorecards, man, before that fight ended. It seems as if he called it quits because he either had a broken jaw, something was going on with his jaw, man, but he was fighting a hell of a fight. Didn't know how much gas he had left in the tank, how much he would last at that pace that he was fighting early on in the fight, because the guy, Brazil, whatever the guy's name, this guy, Dominic Brazil, he came back in this fight and he showed a lot of poise and heart also. And he weathered the storm of Mansour, and he came back, man, and he boxed beautifully, man. But great, great fight also. I want to just throw that out there. A lot of heart for Amir Mansour, man. He showed a lot of heart in that fight, and I thought it was a great fight. But Danny Guerrero, Garcia, the new winner. To the next video, Main Man, Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe. Twitter, Made Man 511. Facebook, Main Man, Made Man. Boxing Forum, and Google Plus, Main Man, Made Man. Hit me up. To the next video. Peace out.